This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Monday of Holy Week. Our Gospel reading is John chapter 12, verses 1 to 11. 6 days before Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. They gave a dinner for him there, and Martha served, while Lazarus was one of those reclining at table with him. Mary took a liter of costly perfumed oil made from genuine aromatic nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and dried them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the oil. Then Judas the Iscariot, one of his disciples, and the one who would betray him, said, "Why was this oil not sold for 300 days' wages and given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief and he held the money bag and used to steal the contributions. So Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Let her keep this for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." The large crowd of the Jews found out that he was there and came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. And the chief priests plotted to kill Lazarus too, because many of the Jews were turning away and believing in Jesus because of him. My friends, here, now that we are launched into Holy Week, this passage, which sets the stage here within what's going on around Jesus, is very rich, so it's worth our time to take a moment to tease out some key points. Let's start first with this aromatic nard, costly perfumed oil. It's expensive. If we're going to take this passage at its face value, 300 days' wages. Think a year's wages for a common laborer. So think about somebody who's working even a minimum wage job. We're talking $20,000, $30,000 in today's value. We're talking about something really expensive being poured on the feet of Jesus, this lavish show of affection and care. So you got to understand that Martha, Mary, and Lazarus have some financial means. There's some wealth here. We understand that there had to be some wealthy people around Jesus and the disciples, because there were people who were providing for the Lord and his disciples as they were traveling all through Galilee. So these people of means were paying the bills. They were providing out of their resources for the food they needed. To understand that one piece alone gives us one element. Now remember, this is just after Jesus has raised Lazarus from the dead. There's been a resuscitation. You don't think people aren't curious? You don't think people aren't inquisitive and excited and wondering? They got to see Lazarus, and they want to see the one who raised Lazarus. So you have here the curiosity of the people, the buzz of the people around. Now, within this context, here's Lazarus reclining at table. So, you can only imagine everybody's asking him and want to talk to him and want to see him and want to get his account of this thing. So he's there at table. Martha, true to form, is serving everybody. So she's in this high energy, taking care of business, making sure you got enough to eat, you got enough to drink. And she's buzzing around everywhere, and I'm sure she's telling everybody and their cousin about Jesus. So Lazarus has his own focus of attention. Martha is working the crowd and serving. Mary, true to her form, is focused on the Lord. The same woman who used to sit at the feet of Jesus to listen to him is now anointing those feet. Utter gratitude. For remember, both Martha and Mary expressed their profound trust in Jesus. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. So you understand the deep friendship that exists between the three siblings and Jesus. And all three siblings are kind of in their own function. Lazarus reclining at table, Martha is serving, Mary is focused on the feet of Jesus. But we've got a few more cast of characters in this thing. We got Judas. Now it's interesting, we're told Judas handles the money purse. which means that Judas is also familiar with people of financial means. Judas is commonly in interaction with people who are giving money to the Lord and the disciples. And it's Judas's responsibility to pay for the bills, take care of getting enough food. So there's a lot of money that's flowing around Judas. And we're told here, John's perspective, he's a thief. He isn't using all of that money for the purpose for which it was intended. Some of it is lining his own pockets. So Judas now, we understand now, we're getting an insight into his personality. Judas, who doesn't really care about the poor, but has a lot of money that got poured on the feet of Jesus. And I'm sure Judas was thinking he could have used that money for some other things. Two more groups that we need to point out. The crowd of Jews, curious, inquisitive. They want to see for themselves how Lazarus looks. They want to see Jesus. They're all asking these questions. Is Jesus really the Messiah? Is he the one? He's doing all of these mighty deeds. Is he more than a prophet? And the last group is the chief priests. And they don't know what to make of this because they're trying to figure out not only how to take out Jesus, but how to take out Lazarus, because so many people are caught up in this account. And so many people are drawing energy and excitement. And they look at Lazarus as the proof in the pudding. And in the center of all of it, you have the Lord. So you have Jesus with the three siblings with whom he is very close in a friendship. We know they have some financial means. We know that there's lots of attention to Lazarus. Martha's doing her work, serving and taking care of people. Mary's focused on the feet of Jesus. Judas is looking at ways to steal money. You got the crowd of Jews. They're all excited. And you got the chief priests plotting how to take Jesus and now Lazarus out of the picture. It's messy. And welcome to life. And in this snapshot, this microcosm of what is swirling around Jesus here on these days right before he's going to be crucified, friends, put yourself in the story. Where are you right now as we get ready for Sacred Triduum, the 3 holy days? Where are you right now as we get ready for Good Friday? Are you like Lazarus, kind of at the center of something in your life right now? Are you Martha? You're serving and taking care of business and you got a lot on your plate and you're doing a lot. You're busy with life. It's good stuff, but you're active and you're engaged. Are you Mary? Are you just focused on Jesus? Because right now there's something going on in your life and the Lord is really at the center of your heart for any number of reasons, for sorrow, for stress, for worry, for care, for pain. But all you can see are the feet of Jesus. Are you dealing with a sin like Judas? Are you dealing with something heavy in your heart? Maybe you're curious. You want to know more about the Lord. And you're like the crowd that's inquisitive. Could he really be? And if he is, what does that mean for me? I want to see him. I want to be near him. I wonder what he's saying. I hope none of us are in the camp with the chief priests. But Lord knows there are forces that would like nothing better than to silence the faith right now. If you were to put yourself in this gospel passage, where do you see yourself? What's going on in your life right now? Because as you can see here from John's gospel, it's busy, it's swirling, it's a whole host of different people, different perspectives, different forces coming together. And that's pretty true for life. And so friends, today, in light of this passage, at the center we have the Lord. But where do we see ourselves right now in relation to Jesus Christ? Are we close? Far away? Drawing nearer? Do we have hesitation? Animosity? Stress? What I want to say is just name it, because that's what I would suggest we bring to prayer today. Wherever we are right now in our life, set it before the Lord. Take it to your prayer and say, Lord, this is where I'm at. Help me to take a step closer to you, to be ready to journey with you to Calvary so that I am ready to celebrate your Easter resurrection. By paying attention to where we are in this moment, we'll be better situated to be able to see ourselves in relation to Jesus so that we can grow closer to Jesus as we journey and prepare for these sacred days. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend, and you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.